The story begins with a 40-year-old girl named Sandy. It happens with an 18-year-old woman who is a housewife. Sandy was very happy with her husband Sam and 2 children, and she loved him very much. Then one day Sandy was watching the video of her son's birthday party. Then she came to know that her husband was having an affair with a woman named Alice. Now she becomes very sad after seeing this, after which she divorced her husband and moved to New York with her children. Now to run her household and start a new life, Sandy started looking for a job. And along with this she also needed a place to stay, for which she goes to the cafe. There she meets a 25-year-old boy named Aram. Aram also had a breakup recently, and both of them are looking for happiness in their lives. Now here Sandy was trying to adjust to life in New York with her children. She also joins a self-defense class, where she meets Aram again. Aram was not able to get a good job even after graduating, and so he had to do that work for money which he doesn't like. Meanwhile, the teacher there asks Sandy to vent all her anger on Aram. Sandy, remembering her husband's actions and imagining her husband in Aram, vents out all her anger on him. At first Sandy abuses him with filthy language, after which she starts beating Aram very brutally. The very next day, Sandy apologizes to Aram for her actions yesterday, and she asks him if he can be a babysitter for her children. Aram also agrees to this. When he came to Sandy's house, he found out that Sandy's children were very strange, after which Sandy left him there and went on a date with a man. But that man was a complete idiot, because he does very strange things with Sandy, and because of these behaviors, Sandy did not feel comfortable with him. At home, Aram gradually became friends with Sandy's children, but on the other hand, that man was doing even more strange things with Sandy. Now finally, fed up with these activities, Sandy returns to her home. At home, Aram put Sandy's kids to bed and Sandy started telling Aram about her bad date. Then the next morning when Aram was doing his work in the cafe, then both of Sandy's children come there and tell him that their mother is dead. But when Aram went there and saw Sandy, so he tells the children that Sandy is not dead but is sleeping. The next day we see Sandy, whose life has now become much better than before, and now she is getting promotion in his work also. Now because Sandy's workload was also increasing, she offers Aram a permanent babysitting job. But Aram's parents were not at all happy with his actions, because Aram graduated from a good college, and they doesn't want Aram to take a babysitting job. So at the request of his parents, Aram started babysitting. Along with this, he also started looking for work in a big company. Now time was passing slowly, and with this, Aram started getting closer to Sandy and her children. Sandy's friends also understand that Sandy has now started liking Aram. On the other hand, Aram also no longer had any interest in other girls, and now he likes to live only with Sandy and her children. One day Sandy gives Aram 2 tickets to a fighting match, and she says that you should go and watch this match with your friend. But in reality, Aram doesn't have any friends, so he asks Sandy to accompany him, to which Sandy agrees. Now both of them came together to watch the match. Sandy was also having a lot of fun there. Then after some time a man comes to Aram who was the CEO of a very big company, and Aram had gone to give interview in the same company. From their conversation, Sandy came to know that Aram had got a job in that company, but he left that job for babysitting. Aram tells Sandy that for the first time he is enjoying doing something, and he loves being with Sandy and her family. Meanwhile, during the match, a boxer falls directly on Aram, due to which he gets hurt a lot. Now because of his injury, Sandy picked up Aram and brought him home, and she asked Aram to stay here tonight. But then Sandy's ex-husband arrives there, and seeing Sandy and the children happy with Aram, he started fighting with her. He asks Sandy to come to him again. Then when Aram comes out after putting the children to sleep, the man asks him to leave from there, but Aram stays there and asks Sandy to tell her ex-husband what's in her heart. But Sandy is unable to say the things she told Aram in the self-defense class. But when Aram repeats those words, Sandy also starts saying the same things, and she started abusing her ex-husband. Now here Sandy gave all those things to her ex-husband. He spoke the words that had been in his heart for many years. After driving her ex-husband away, Sandy tells Aram that she wants to take him on a date tomorrow. The next day, when Aram tells his friend, he felt very bad when he heard that Aram was going on a date with Sandy, because he had a performance on stage that night, and he sincerely wished that Aram would come to see him too. Now Aram cannot upset his friend, so he comes with Sandy in the evening to watch his performance. Then after the performance is over, he takes Sandy with him to a party, where both of them started coming closer to each other. But then Aram runs into her ex, and she says she wants to get back together with him. But Aram ignores her and returns to Sandy. Both of them come home after the party is over, and both of them share a happy moment with each other. But by mistake, Sandy's son saw them. Now Aram has told the children about his and Sandy's relationship, due to which both the children were also happy. On the other hand, Sandy also told her friends about her relationship with Aram. She told that she fell in love with his children's babysitter. The next day, Aram met Sandy with his parents. He brings him to his house to introduce him. But from Aram's mother's actions, Sandy understands that her mother does not like their relationship. But this doesn't make any difference to Sandy, because Aram loved him and her children very much. But because Aram was only 25 years old, Sandy's friends started making fun of her relationship with Aram. But this doesn't matter to Aram. But now Sandy started feeling that she was much older than Aram and she was ruining his life. Then one day while working in the office, Sandy started feeling very strange. And then she found out that she was pregnant. Then that very night Sandy tells Aram about this. Aram gets scared at first after knowing all this. But then later he tells Sandy that he also wants that. He and Sandy should always be together. The next day, when both of them went to the doctor told them that Sandy was pregnant, but she will not be able to give birth to this child because she is too old. Now Sandy gets worried after hearing this, and coming out she starts fighting with Aram. During the fight, she tells Aram that it is not right for them to be together, because she is 15 years older than him, and because of this their relationship cannot continue. Now since they both have no future together, they cannot live together anymore. And after saying all this, Sandy leaves from there. Now after this both of them separated, and Aram quits her babysitting job and goes on a journey of self-discovery to another country. But even after traveling to different countries, Aram was still remembering Sandy and her children. On the other hand, Sandy was trying her best to be a good mother, and she also got another promotion in his work. Now 5 years have passed in the blink of an eye, and Sandy now becomes a successful journalist. Aram was traveling to different countries of the world and teaching children. Many girls try to get into a relationship with Aram, but now he wanted to be alone. One day Sandy was in a restaurant with her children. Then he meets Aram there, and both of them are very happy to see each other. Aram tells her that a few years ago he had adopted a child in Bangladesh, and now both of them live together. This time both Aram and Sandy have changed. When Sandy learned that Aram was not married yet, they both started living happily together, because Sandy has also understood that it is not age but feelings that matter. And with this, the story ends on this scene. So friends, this movie shows that life does not end after every broken relationship. Sometimes even reflection can become real love. Age difference matters only for the society, not for the heart. The lesson we learn from this movie is that if the heart is true, then a second beginning is always possible. Every end is a new beginning, and true love does not see age. So friends, this is the story of The Rebound, a film released in 2009. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Comment on which scene resonated with you the most. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue receiving similar explainer videos. Thank you. See you next time with another interesting film story. Till then, bye-bye and take care.